My name is Tate Lisi, and this is the final part to the Business 440 final project. So, I was just hired as a new manager for an organization. So, let's hear about the five most important pieces of organizational behavior that I will be bringing to the company. So, first off, it sounds a little bit basic, but we're going to start off with the communication process. So, as a new manager, I've had some previous experience in other roles, which I will probably be tying the organizational behavior to kind of give some real life examples and show that I've been there before, and it just will help show that I have the skills to bring forth to this new organization. So, number five, communication process. So the chapter broke it down into six parts here, and which includes encoding, message, the channel, decoding, feedback, and noise. So that was all kind of stuff that you learn when you first learn how to speak English. When you're in kindergarten, and so you start learning how to. Well, I should say that in kindergarten, but as you progress through high school, you learn how to receive the message and how people are able to receive messages in different ways. So it varies how your tone is and all of that. But we'll bring it back to an example from a previous organization. Communication, the process was huge. It in a business is rapid pace, so you got to make sure that you are all on top of your stuff and that you are because you got to get feedback to the customer right away. So when you're working within different departments, you got to be communicating with different people. And obviously now in the new age, there is technology that people can interpret messages in different ways. So you got to make sure that you're expressing what you're trying to say in tones that doesn't seem harmful or will hurt anybody. So number four is groups and teams. Okay, well, an organization is made up of groups and teams. And so let's see here. This chapter describes four stages that teams go through: mutual acceptance, communication, and decision making, and then motivation and productivity, and finally control and organization. So kind of what we went through. Well, I've actually went through a team project in this one class that I took in college. It was a Business 440 class, and so I got paired up with a random team, and we had to complete a project throughout the whole semester. Well, everybody's schedule looks different, and that's even in a workplace that works constant, just 8 to 5. But we had to schedule around conflicts, and we all had to be on top of each other. So you all working towards a common goal, right? But not everybody produces at the same rate and at the same time, or produces much at all. Fortunately for me, my group was pretty good about everybody getting their work done. It just took time because there was procrastination and different schedules that we had to work around. But when you're working in challenging conditions like that, you've got to make sure that you keep the team morale high and don't get down on each other, because at the end you are working together as a team. So let's see here. Number three is the importance of motivation. So as we saw in that class, which I took a long time ago at Concordia, but motivation was the driving factor that was talked about in the project from multiple interviews. Motivation is used to keep employees engaged in their work and keep them want to keep coming back to work too. So as a manager, you just got to either incentivize if regular pep talks, or just trying to have a good conversation doesn't work in order to get that productivity that you're seeking. And if incentives don't work, then you've got to change something about the way that you are managing, because you got to tailor to different needs, as not everybody is the same, and But as long as you make it the sort of motivated environment where they are where employees are self motivated, then all engines are running. Or I think I'm saying that wrong, but you'll get great output from every employee because they want to be there and they want to help reach the final goal. So number 2 is organizational culture, which this leads up to, or the motivation leads up to this. So in my previous organization that I was working at this past summer, organizational culture was huge, as everybody was bonding. And I mean, people make mistakes. As a previous worker there, you could say I was an intern. I made mistakes because I was new to it. Well, they didn't get mad. Instead, they used it as a teaching moment to help me build confidence within myself, and to use it as kind of a self checker for them too, I would say, to make sure that they know what they're talking about. And also, teaching others helps you understand stuff better. So it was just a fantastic culture, which again leads to employees wanting to come to work because they don't feel like they're just coming to collect a paycheck, rather than they're coming to help produce a common goal, and they are working with friends. I mean, they're not just working with coworkers; they actually can call them friends. And it was very welcoming to join an organization with that sort of a culture. So, and as a manager, I might not be able to control the whole culture of the whole organization, but I would be able to control the culture of my department. So, and the number one concept is person job fit and dimensions of fit. So, the best candidate for the role is not always the best candidate on paper. So, as in the hiring process, it is good to take walks around the floor to just kind of see, if they collaborate with people, or if they're just introverts and just kind of put their head down and just kind of want to get to work. I mean, it depends on what kind of role you're hiring for, but you want to make sure that the person that is going to or that is going to work the job is not just the one that has the highest GPA, the one that has quote unquote the most experience would probably be really good, but they might have experience in a different field that just doesn't fit the standard that you want to have at your business. So and then as a manager, I just kind of would be overseeing the day to day of that, and you kind of get a feel for it right away if the person's going to be able to make it the long time, or because you want retirement, you want people to stay for a long time, because then productivity will just keep ramping up, and you don't want to keep going through training processes and relationship building and all that. So as a manager, it's my duty to make sure that the employee fits the job, and not that they're just doing it to get paid because they're the best candidate. So this course that I had taken, Business 440, definitely helped me see the way that organizational behavior is developed and played in lots of different businesses, and will help me prepare myself to go into the workforce and hopefully become a manager and implement some of these behaviors, or look out for some of the behaviors in my new workplace. So yeah, thank you, Dr. Akins, for a good semester, and I hope you have a good summer.